third. Origin story, Bearcat Hoop, back for another edition. Got one of our co-captains with us today. It's our weekly deep dive into our guys' superhero powers and letting them share with everybody out there what they bring to the court when we all get back out there and all the great things they do for the Cardinal and Gold when they're there. And it also plays a little bit into their coach's obsession with comics and everything that has to do with comic book heroes, which I don't tell them about in recruiting. I don't spring that nerdness on them until they get to campus and then they can't leave. So today, sir, would you please introduce yourself to everybody watching Origin Story?
I am Jonathan Watts. I'm from San Diego, California. I will be a junior next year, and I'm a combo guard, so I play the 1 and 2, whatever the coach wants me to do, whatever he needs me to do.
Right. Wherever Watts needs to be, he plugs in. And it's going to be exciting to have you back, my friend, to see your superpower, because we did not have you this past year for very often because of injuries. Knock on wood, and every piece of wood you have in your room. Excited to get you back out there because freshman year, Watts had a great year for us and did a lot of good things. Jay Watts, growing up, who was your favorite superhero, and what power did they have that stood out to you as a little kid?
So mine, I wasn't a super big superhero kid when I was growing up, but I did enjoy Iron Man a lot.
Nice.
I love the series. I love the movie. I watched them all. And obviously with Iron Man, he doesn't necessarily have a superpower like Superman or something like that, but he has the brilliance in his mind. He's an intellect, and he used that to obviously create what we know as Iron Man.
Yep. That is, and I always get in arguments. Crazy. I know it's surprising to hear from you that I get in arguments about Iron Man versus Batman, who's greatest, and they're both awesome. It's like LeBron and Jordan for me, just arguing about it, because neither one of them, just like you said, they're both guys that just happen to be so smart and passionate. They kind of figure things out. For you, my friend, when you're clicking, when you're healthy and you're playing as the Jay Watts we all got to see your freshman year, what is the power or the powers that you bring to the court for Bearcat Hoop?
Mine might not be a specific thing, but I think it's kind of my sixth sense. So what I mean by that is kind of my IQ when it comes to basketball, whether it's seeing a play ahead of it actually happening, knowing where my teammate's going to be, kind of having just a feel for a game. I would say that's my strongest strength that I can use to help this team out.
And I think what that was kind of evident your first year and getting on the floor so soon as you did is, as a coach, it's always helpful when you're trying to catch a coach's eye to be in the right spot at the right time over and over again, not just occasionally. And I think that definitely stood out for you on all facets of the floor. Talk a little bit about this last season when you weren't able to play after the first semester and a handful of games because of your injury. How did you work on that being your superpower? How could you refine that? Because, if you're a shooter, Justice Eaglesmith was on here as a sniper superpower, and he can go just take 1,000 shots. What is it about your superpower? How did you work on it this year, and how have you in the past kind of honed it?
I guess I'll start first with the past. I think growing up, it started from a young age. I came from an athletic background with my mom playing college basketball, my sister playing collegiate sports and all through her life. And I remember when I was young, my mom coached or helped coach varsity basketball on the women's side. So after elementary school, she would pick me up and we'd go straight to the gym. And I would finish my homework and then I would just shoot for a couple hours because we were there 2-3 hours. So I think just being around the game from a young age made me see it and kind of gave me that IQ and the ability to see certain things. So as I grew up, I was able to learn things a lot faster because I was exposed to it a lot earlier.
Excellent. And this last year, you kind of had a unique existence, January through February for us.
Exactly, because obviously I was injured, out for the year. I was lucky enough to be a part of the coaching staff a little bit. So for me, it was just obviously because I wasn't able to be on the court. It was just watching a lot of basketball. Obviously at practice, trying to see things that maybe we weren't doing well or doing well, and how I can fit myself in there when I do come back. And even in the coaches meeting, watching film, trying to identify certain things, because obviously not being on the court is the best way to get better, to work on your skills. So how could I have done it? Obviously not being on the court, how could I have gotten better? So it's really just watching film and becoming more familiar with things in that instance, yeah.
For you, and I think there's something you're probably selling yourself short because you're a humble kid, and we love that about you. I think some of your sixth sense and that knowledge plays into your passion for getting your body ready. You're always a guy that, as a freshman, even coming in, we recruiting you. You talked about your passion for the weight room, for your diet. Talk a little bit about that, and how that maybe enhances what you're able to do.
Definitely. So I first of all go back a little bit. I didn't get into the weight room and my overall health until probably my junior year of high school. I don't know necessarily know what ticked it, but I think I just wanted to get better in general, and I wanted to find any advantage I could to get better. And I knew getting stronger, getting faster, getting quicker. That started in the weight room, so I invested myself there. Um, and then the second thing was my diet. I knew I had eaten pretty healthy my entire life, but I knew that there were greater strides that I could make to enhance my performance, my overall health. So putting those things together with my performance, or to enhance my performance on the basketball court, started there, and then now it's just. Wait, repeat your question again.
Boy, like, where is it like now? Like, talk about your internship, like how you're kind of honing those skills, and I think that drive and that focus you have on the court, it doesn't really relax. Like, you're off the floor doing the same kind of like, does this make sense for me to choose today? What I eat, what I work, how I work out, etc.
Yeah, I think it's just all around. I'm really conscious. I'm trying to better myself every day, and especially with my health, with my performance. I think every decision I make, I kind of come back to that. Is what I'm doing now in line with my end result, my system. So ultimately, each decision I make, like I said, make sure it's in line with my goal, with where I want to be. And then with my internship, working with Jake Forshee, who's a gym owner, so we're working with college athletes, being able to, it's a different aspect because they're football players. He's mostly training football players, but seeing kind of the things that I've learned growing up, and then kind of being able to apply it with them, and seeing the things that he learned and being able to apply it with me. It's a cool mismatch, being able to learn from one another. So it's really cool.
Absolutely. And at Jonathan Watts, to be junior/sophomore. That's weird, right? You're going to have a slash in the bio. Junior in school, kicking ass with your grades. Sophomore eligibility, which is good for us. But thank you, sir. Origin story.